we had the best of all, had the Bob Hope Show come aboard. It was awesome. We had a band, Les Brown and his band of renown were there. It was a full orchestra. And Margaret was in the Gold Diggers, which is about 20 nubile 20-year-olds, gals, and they put on a hell of a show. The aircraft carrier has a flight deck, which is exposed to the elements, but below it is a thing called a hangar deck, where the aircraft are stored when they're not flying. Well, we cleaned that out and raised this elevator up about 10 feet and made it a stage. And the Bob Hope Show was produced aboard the Hancock for all hands. And it was a hell of a show. It was tremendous. I'd never seen anything like it. Yeah, we had the Bob Hope Show.
Vice President Key, we were sitting on the platform next to the guy that was holding the cue cards for Bob Hope. So we were front and center. And I don't know why, there were a lot of girls there, but he just came right up to me and asked me, "Where'd you go to college?" And I said, "Oh, I went to college at a small girls' school in Virginia." And he went, "Longwood?" And I thought I was being pranked or something. I said, "How could this man have seen my employment folder or what?" I mean, I was just shocked that he popped right out with Longwood. And I said, "There are people in Virginia that don't even know about Longwood." And he said, "Well, I was just there." And I went, "No, now I really don't believe this is happening." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, I went to visit a friend that lives near Hampton, Sydney." And he said, "I went to my first football game. I went to the Randolph-Macon Hampton Sydney game. And it was just like somebody had pushed the button. I mean, I was so homesick because it was my first Christmas away from home. And then I remembered all the Hampton, Sydney, Randolph-Macon games I'd gone to. And I started the ugly cry, not just crying, but the hiccups, the ugly cry.
We all hated the Army. FTA, the Army. That was, used to seal your letters with that. I mean, because there was a generational gap in the military too. Like, all of us were young guys, and the professionals had been around for a while. They were called lifers, and they had a different commitment, and they were always poking in your stuff, and they were always getting in your face about things. And they didn't do it so much in Vietnam because we had guns, and it was better in Vietnam. But the Army is based on this idea of the guys with rank giving ones a hard time. It was a very unhappy Army.
At about the eighth month point, they let me fly back to D.C., Washington, D.C., Virginia. My parents were in Fairfax, and my wife was staying with her parents at Fort McNair Army Post in D.C. Mm-hmm. So I got to come back and see them for a week. But it's weird you're back, all of a sudden, about the time you get there, you're thinking about, I've got to go back.
It's like an alternate reality.
Yeah, and then it's okay, 3 days, okay, that's okay. 2 days, 1 day, woo. The day itself,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.